Gentlemen, welcome back to yet another YouTube video. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, if you want to work with me one-on-one to lose fat, get in shape, and double your energy levels, you can find that in the first link in the description. But let's get on to the video. So this is something that I've been thinking about, and this will be really important for my Muslim men who are watching this video. And I want you guys to pay special attention to what I'm about to share with you. And it's this idea that your health and fitness is your responsibility. And you might be thinking, well, that's such a simple concept. Why do you need to make a YouTube video about it? The reason I felt that this has to be said is because a lot of Muslim men, for some reason, and I think I know what the reason is, I'll break that down a little bit later. We have this idea that taking care of our health and fitness is like a selfish thing, and it's a nice to have. It's not something that needs to be prioritized at the current moment, and something you can do down the line, or you can put off. And if you're like a little bit chubby, a little bit whatever, it's not going to negatively like impact your life in the current moment. And I can tell you firsthand that's not the case at all. Like, I used to think that way when I was in college. Um, for the longest time, I wanted to get in shape, but I just never understood the process of like working out and eating high protein and all that kind of stuff. So for like a long time during college, I just didn't go to the gym. Or if I went, it was just like to go mess around with my friends. But in junior year, I came across the Strongest 5x5 program, and that got me started on my journey. Now, granted, I didn't take full advantage of that until I was like 2 years into working full time, like out of school. That's when I had like some time after work to really put into this. But it wasn't until I found that program, which broke it down to the simplest formula that you could possibly imagine for getting in the gym. It's not the perfect program. I don't follow it. I don't really advise it to any of my clients, but it is something that got me started. And for anyone who just needs something that is like super, it's like you have to be kind of too dumb to mess up with it. Like that's the thing that's what I would recommend. If you just want something that's just like you just have need to have like if you have sub 100 IQ, you could follow that program and like see some kind of results and then build from there. But the point I'm trying to make is that for the longest time, I thought being, not like super heavy or like super skinny was I was kind of in that skinny fat zone. It was like okay, like this is normal. This is totally fine. No one in my immediate environment is going out of the way to get in shape. Not at that time at least. It wasn't until I've shared this story so many times, but it's worth repeating. It wasn't until I went to a July 4th trip with my friends to New York, had a bunch of fun, bunch of good food, had good times, so many good memories from that trip. It wasn't until we were on the drive back to Boston, I saw pictures on my phone and I was just like, why do I look so terrible? Like everything was off. I'm talking everything. The shirt I was wearing, it was like this like bland blue polo, the worst haircut ever. It was just like it was had no nothing going on. Um, and the worst part was just like my belly was just like just extended and like skinny arms like kind of poking through the polo I was wearing. Everything was off, literally everything. No facial hair. So at that moment when I saw that, I was just like, this is absolute. What is going on here? Why do I look like this? It wasn't until I confronted the reality of what I had been living with for so long that got me in the gym, that got me back onto the 5x5 program, that got me into seriously considering what taking the next 6, 12 months could really do with my physique. And that was the first summer, from that July onwards until December, whenever um, the big cough happened in 2020. This was in 2019. I was just going hard in the gym. I was going 3 times a week. I was lifting heavy. My deadlift went from like 95 pounds or 100 pounds to like 245 or 265. Um, I was just like bragging about like, I was just like, oh, I squatted this much. I'm like benching this much. Or I'm like overhead pressing this much. And it was such an immersive time of my life. I'll never forget what that did. But it only came after this intense feeling of pain, intense feeling of embarrassment. and just this overwhelming sense of like something has to change, something has to give for me to not feel like this, not look like this anymore. So tying this back to why Muslim men never decide to get in shape is because they've never had that moment. Everyone you know right now looks like you. Let's just face it. Everyone you know looks more or less like you. 30% body fat, doesn't go to the gym, eats whatever because they have a hectic lifestyle, poor sleep quality because you're stressed all the time and you don't have a good pre-bed routine. In the morning you just like get straight to Instagram, to social media, and then you kind of rush off to work. So there's everything is kind of off for you right now, but no one's pointing the mirror at you and being like, "Hey, this is how you look, man. Like something needs to change." And more than a coach, honestly, like this is something I want to talk about. More than a coach, honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm just a mirror to people. Not only in the sense of like how I look now, but also just in terms of like they tell me all their things. My clients share me. We get on one-on-one calls and they tell me like, "Hey, I'm struggling with this. I'm not able to get on bed on time and stuff." And we break it down, and they're like, "Oh, it's like because I'm doing this for like 2 hours every single night." And I'm like, "Bro, do you not see how that is negatively impacting everything?" And once I break it down, once I tell them like, "Hey, this is not serving you, this is not improving your life," it isn't until that happens then they're like, "Oh, okay, I I guess I should make a change." So it's really just like becoming a mirror to people and showing them like, "Hey, this is what's going on right now. Like, do you not see like the red flags, the flashing lights going off? Like what's going on right now?" So that's what's really going on for you, bro. You're not seeing the full impact of what's going on, and you won't really fully see it if you continue on this path until like a medical emergency happens, or you're forced to act and you're forced to display your physicality to save a loved one, or like save your own life, and you're not able to do it. And may Allah protect us from those situations, but it's not out of the question. It's not out of the question. Those things do happen. So being able to lift something off your loved one's, something fell on your loved one's leg and you have to lift it off. It's like 300 pounds and you've never been to the gym. And in those moments when you're trying to do that and you can see the excruciating pain on their face, the person you're trying to save, and you're like, I wish I went to the gym. When Furhan told me to go, and he was in my ear constantly telling me, go to the gym, get yourself in shape. In those moments, you're going to be like, I guess he was right. I guess eating crap every single day, eating out 5 times a week was not the move. Missing the gym because I was too tired, because I had a long day at work, it was just not good enough of an excuse. I don't want it to get to that point, obviously, but I'm just painting that picture to show you what can go wrong if you don't take action now. That's really just the whole point of this. The last thing, and I'm gonna say this. I don't care like how this gets received. I'm gonna say it because a lot of people they make this they have this weird kind of subconscious thinking when it goes into what I'm about to share with you. I made a reel on this the other day, and I was just feeling it. I was just like, I have to say this because I've heard this way too many times. Stop saying "InshaAllah, I'll get in shape this year." I really mean that. And today's Friday, the time I'm recording this, we're recommended to recite Surah Al-Kahf, and it goes into the whole story of like why you should say inshallah. But the backdrop of it is that you've done everything in your power. You've taken all the right steps. You've put together the right plan, and you're following it to your best capacity. You're having the right kind of people around you to hold you accountable. You're keeping the right metrics in front of you to make sure that you're still on track. You're doing all these things, everything tangibly, and then you add on if Allah wills. That's really, that's inshallah translates to if Allah wills. So, in your fitness journey, if you're doing everything right, but Allah forbid, you get into a car accident and you're paraplegic for the rest of your life, maybe Allah did not will for you to get in shape and become like a super lean and strong muscular guy. Again, I don't wish that on anyone, but um, I want to make that very clear. Stop saying, stop. So the way I put this was in the reel was stop slapping inshallah at the end of every goal that you have. if you don't have like a strong intention to make that happen. If you're talking amongst friends and you're, it's like January 1st or it's like around your birthday and you're like, yeah, bro, inshallah, I'm getting in shape in this year. I'm looking at a workout program. I'm watching a bunch of YouTube videos. Inshallah, I'll get in shape this year. You and I both know that's not going to happen, bro. You and I both know you're just saying that to impress the people around you and get that quick hit of dopamine when they're like, oh, good stuff, man. Like, yeah, keep me posted. Meanwhile, they don't care about you. They they make fun of you behind your back because of like how you've never committed to anything, and they're just like trying to save face. They're also trying to save face in front of you by being polite and respectful. You're like, yeah, bro, keep me posted. Let me know like if you need any help. If you need another YouTube video, I can send over. You don't need another YouTube video, bro. Besides this one, maybe you need a strong intention, and more important than that, even I would argue, is a strong sense of pain. That's what you need. You need someone, again, bring the mirror up to your face super close and be like, this is what's going on right now, man. When are you going to make a change? That's really what it comes down to. And until that happens, until you make you, bro, literally, like, I'm going to give you the one tip. Go to the mirror right now after you're done watching this video, pull up your shirt, take off your shirt, and if you love what you see, then you never need to listen to me again. Or you could because you like me. But if you don't like what you see, if you're like, crap, this is not acceptable, and you truly look at it, because I know what you do in the morning, bro. You 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 hide from yourself. You just go in there, brush your teeth, do your thing, and you just rush out because you're like, I don't want to see this man. Like, I don't want to be reminded of like I'm like 40 pounds overweight. I don't want to see it. Or if you do look at it, you're like, it's not that bad, bro. Come on, like, like having a bit of chubbiness. It's like it's good, it's good. Dad bod. You're just coping, man. You're just making excuses. That's really all it is. You know that if we sat down together, and this is kind of like us sitting down together, and we had an honest conversation, you'd probably break down in tears. You'd be like, I can't believe I've done this to myself. I'm 30 pounds overweight. My wife just is not attracted to me as she once was. My kids don't see me as a superhero. And let me drive the dagger even further. If you have kids and they're in school and they're, like as like we used to do as when we were kids, we'd be like, my dad can beat your dad. They're probably having that conversation, and your kid is just like, some other kid tells him, my dad could beat your dad. He's like, yeah, bro, it's not out of the question. He can't even pick me up anymore. He gets winded playing with me for 2 minutes. Like, bro, something has to give. Something has to change. That's really the message of this. I don't want to make this like a super long video because honestly, you don't need tactics and strategies and meal plans and routines. You just need an awakening. Because once you have that, you know what you need to do. The bare bones of it, at least. You know what your routine and your daily schedule needs to look like. And if you need help with that, like I said, I have my one-on-one coaching, first link in the description. But really, just like understanding the problem at the moment, but also on the flip side, the opportunity. What happens when you take the next 6, 10, 12 months and figure this out for once in your life, and you lose the weight, and not only lose the weight, but also have the skills to keep it off? Because a lot of people, when they come to me, they're like, yeah, I've tried losing weight. I lost 15, 20 pounds, but I gained it right back because of XYZ reason. That's what I help them with the most. It's not so much that they don't know how to lose the weight, is that they haven't built the right frameworks and the right mental models and the right strategies to keep it off and really build that identity of someone, of a in shape Muslim who can keep the weight off forever and and be accountable and be responsible for their fitness. That's really what it is. That's how I see myself. I just see myself as someone who takes people to a certain destination, and after that point, whether they want to work with me or not, that's to their discretion. But really, I'm just that guide for that short period of time. I take them to that destination, and then we part ways, and their life is better from that point onwards, and they can always credit me for that. Not that I'm looking for credit necessarily, But what I mean, just think about it. If someone gave you the tools to do this, wouldn't you be indebted to them forever? At least in terms of getting you there to figuring this out for the first time in your life. You will have other coaches, other people in your life who will take you to further heights. But if I'm able to help you with that, that gives me fulfillment. And that gives you the tools to keep with this forever. So I won't take this any longer. I won't drag this any longer, guys. Again, once again, if you want to join what is now my new company, Sacred Fitness Academy, first link in the description, one-on-one. Let's just have a chat. Let's see where you're at. Let's see what roadblocks you're dealing with, what you're struggling with, how I can help you, and if being in my program is the right choice for you. Because I'll be honest, this might not be where the right thing for you. You might be too advanced. You might need a lot of like help outside of fitness. So let's just have a chat. Let's see where you're at. I can put you in the right direction if that's what you need, or we can get started working together and actually just solve this once and for all. So I know the last point was like, don't say inshallah when it comes to this, but I'm saying inshallah I can get you in shape because I've done it for myself. I've done it for my clients. And if you're ready, if you're like, okay, like I've heard enough, man, I want something to change. Inshallah I can do it for you as well. So with that being said, gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one.